Hello, viewers. Before we dive into this amazing story, we would love for you to be part of our family. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you never miss a story that will touch your heart. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Maya's heart raced with excitement as she stepped down from the dusty village bus. The city air was warm, filled with the sound of honking cars and distant chatter. Clutching a small bag and a folded note with directions, she whispered her mother's words in her heart. "Maya, my sister is rich now. You will live in a big house, eat good food, and go to school like her children. This is a blessing." At just 13 years old, Maya believed her mother. She believed that a brighter life was waiting for her at Aunt Clara's house. With trembling hands, she knocked on the heavy gate. A security guard peeped through the hole. "Who are you looking for?" he asked, scanning her from head to toe. "I'm here to see my aunt, Madame Clara. My name is Maya." He eyed her faded dress and worn slippers, then opened the gate. Maya stepped inside and gasped. Before her stood a mansion. Cars lined up like soldiers, glass windows glinting in the evening sun. Her eyes widened. She had never seen such a house in her life. But before she could take it all in, the front door swung open. Out stepped Aunt Clara, dressed in a flowing gown, her gold jewelry sparkling under the porch light. Instead of a warm embrace, her face twisted in irritation. "You're just arriving now? I sent your mother transport money last week. What took you so long?" I came as soon as I could," Maya stammered. Clara scoffed. "Come inside and wipe your feet. Don't dirty my floor." Inside, the house looked like a palace. Marble tiles, chandeliers, the air thick with perfume. On a large couch, Maya's cousins sat glued to their phones, barely sparing her a glance. Then a tall man walked in, her uncle. He studied her the way someone would look at an old shoe. "So, this is the village girl," he smirked. "I hope she won't be a liability." "She will be useful," Clara snapped. "Very useful." That night, Maya lay on a thin mattress in a storage room. No bed, no blanket, just the hard, cold floor. Her mother had promised her a better life, but as she curled up, shivering in the dark, one question burned in her heart. Was this really the blessing her mother spoke about? And that was just the beginning. By morning, Maya's new life would reveal its true face, a life of endless chores, insults, and hunger. But what she didn't know was that fate had a plan. Would Maya survive this storm or rise above it? The morning after her arrival, Maya was woken by a sharp knock on the door. "Wake up! Do you think this is your mother's house where you can sleep all day?" Aunt Clara's angry voice echoed through the room. Rubbing the sleep from her eyes, Maya quickly stood up, her back aching from the hard floor. "Go to the kitchen and wash the plates before my children wake up." She hurried to the kitchen, only to find the sink piled high with greasy pots, plates stacked like a mountain, and food leftovers everywhere. Her hands trembled. Back in the village, she had helped her mother cook and clean, but this was overwhelming. Still, Maya picked up the first plate and started scrubbing. The smell of old soup clung to her nose, but she kept going. Hours passed before she finished. Just as she was about to sit down and rest, a loud voice thundered behind her. "Maya, sweep the living room and arrange the chairs. My guests are coming soon. I don't want to see a speck of dust." Maya sighed, but she picked up the broom. She swept, she wiped, she arranged. By the time she was done, her small hands were shaking from exhaustion. But there was no rest for her. Her cousin Cynthia walked in, chewing gum lazily. "Maya, iron my uniform and don't put any lines on it." Maya hesitated. "But Cynthia's eyes narrowed. "Are you stupid? If you annoy my mother, she'll throw you out." Fear gripped her chest. She quickly nodded and did as told. By evening, her legs no longer felt like their own. She had worked since dawn, washing, scrubbing, sweeping, ironing, yet no one even asked if she had eaten. Her stomach growled. Desperate, she sneaked into the kitchen and picked up a small piece of bread left on the table. But before she could take a bite, a voice boomed behind her. "Thief!" It was Uncle Henry, Clara's husband. His face twisted with anger. "No, sir, I wasn't." "Shut up! After all the food you ate in the village, you came here to finish ours? Drop that bread now!" Tears welled in her eyes as she placed the bread back on the plate. Her stomach ached, but she swallowed her hunger and her tears. That night, lying on the cold floor of her tiny room, her stomach empty, she whispered, "Maybe Mama doesn't know. Maybe she truly believes I'm living like family. But if she could see me now, would she still call this a blessing?"
It was a Saturday evening. The mansion buzzed with excitement. Aunt Clara was hosting an important guest, a distant relative who had returned from the city abroad. The living room glittered with decorations. Maya, as always, worked silently in the background, setting trays, arranging plates, making sure every glass sparkled. Her clothes were worn and faded, her small frame bending under the weight of heavy trays. When the guest, Mr. Emmanuel, finally arrived, everyone welcomed him warmly. Laughter and conversation filled the room. Maya moved quietly, pouring drinks and serving food. But Mr. Emmanuel's sharp eyes noticed something the others ignored. He watched Maya closely, the way her thin arms trembled, the way she kept her eyes down, the way she winced when Clara barked, "Faster, stupid girl!" Finally, he asked gently, "Clara, who is this child?" Clara smiled sweetly, her voice dripping with false kindness. "Oh, that's Maya, my sister's daughter. She lives with us now. We treat her like our own." Maya froze. Treat her like their own? She wanted to laugh and cry at the same time. Mr. Emmanuel leaned forward, studying Maya's tired face. "Child, what class are you in?" he asked softly. Maya's lips parted, but no sound came. Her throat tightened. She hadn't seen a school gate since leaving her village. Clara quickly cut in, waving her hand. "Oh, school. She just arrived. We'll think about it later. For now, she's helping me at home." Mr. Emmanuel's eyes narrowed. His voice grew firm. "No, Clara. She is too young to be just a house help. Look at her. This girl belongs in school, not running errands all day." The room fell silent. Clara shifted uncomfortably, forcing a smile. "Oh, Brother Emmanuel, you don't understand. Times are hard. She's happy here." But Maya's eyes betrayed her. They glistened with silent tears she tried to hide. Mr. Emmanuel spoke again, his tone stronger this time. "I know what I see. If her mother sent her here, it was for a better life, not slavery. Clara, if you truly care for her, put her in school. Otherwise, you are destroying her future." Clara's smile faded. She said nothing, her pride wounded in front of her guest. But for Maya, those words were like a spark in the darkness. For the first time since leaving her village, someone saw her. Someone spoke for her. Someone believed she deserved more. That night, as she lay on the cold floor, Maya whispered to herself, Maybe things can change. Maybe there's still hope for me." After Mr. Emmanuel's visit, the atmosphere in Aunt Clara's house changed. Clara, furious at being embarrassed, took her anger out on Maya. "You think you're special now because someone spoke for you? Useless girl, I'll show you who's in charge here. The punishments grew harsher. She gave Maya double the chores and even less food. Maya's hope began to flicker again, but she refused to let it die. Then, 1 week later, Mr. Emmanuel returned unexpectedly. This time he didn't come for dinner, he came for Maya. He walked straight into the kitchen where she was scrubbing pots. "Maya," he said gently, "pack your things, you're coming with me." Maya froze, her heart racing. "Sir, Aunt Clara, she won't allow." But Clara stormed in, her face red with anger. "Emmanuel, you can't just take her. She's mine to look after." He stood tall, his voice calm but firm. "Look after? Clara, you've enslaved this child. I've spoken to her mother. She wants Maya to go to school, and I will make sure she does. Enough is enough." For the first time, Clara had no words. She only hissed under her breath and turned away, defeated. Maya, clutching her small bag of clothes, felt her legs trembling as she followed Mr. Emmanuel out of the mansion. It felt unreal. The heavy chains of her daily suffering were finally breaking. Days later, Maya stood in front of a school gate, her heart pounding with both fear and excitement. She wore a second-hand uniform Emmanuel had bought her, and for the first time, she carried books in her hands instead of laundry baskets. She looked up at Emmanuel with teary eyes. "Sir, do you really think I can do this?" He smiled warmly. "Maya, you are bright, you are strong, and you are meant for more than housework. Study hard, and one day you'll be able to change not only your life, but others' lives too." Maya stepped into the classroom, her face glowing with a mixture of nervousness and hope. The other children stared for a moment, but she didn't care. She finally belonged here. As she sat at her desk, pen in hand, she whispered silently to herself, "Mama, I will make you proud. My story doesn't end in Clara's house. It begins here."